This fast little recording is going to show you how to import existing legacy content into Author-it. You can see we've already imported a little bit of content previously. This is a Word document, and I imported it previously. We're going to import another Word document, and I'm going to step you through some of the options. So the first thing we do is we click on the Word button here. That's going to open a dialog box that's going to let us select the file to import. In our case, we're going to go ahead and select the importing GW monitoring data. If you look over here on the right, you see we've got a preview of what that document is. That just helps us make sure that we're importing the document that we actually wanted. I'm going to go ahead and click Open. Now Author-it's going to scan this file, looking for styles, formatting, etc., to get ready for the next step. So Author-it has scanned the document. It's looking to see what paragraph formats it has and what I might want to do with them. So for example, it found heading 1, and it's going to convert that to a level 1, and it defaults to a chapter template. I don't want a chapter template. I actually want my heading 1s to just be basic topics. But here, it went for my title, and it assigned it a chapter. And I think I want that. I think I want my chapters to be a title. Now, this is the most basic of all rules. I could click the Next button, and I could move forward, but where I really think this import shines is in the rules. So I just click the Rules button. Now I see the default rules that are being used for this import, but I can create a new rule by clicking New Rule. Now I can give it a name, and I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Replace, except I'm going to spell that right, Display. I personally don't like the word display. It's typically used non-grammatically. And let's say that we've got a bunch of legacy content with writers who use the word display all the time. Because this is a software product, we know that we're not talking about a hardware display that things appear on. So we know this rule will work. Now I selected the Find Replace Text option, and you may have noticed that the second tab back here has changed to Find and Replace. So now I can say find the word displays, and replace it with appears. I can tell it to only find whole words, and if I wanted, I could apply other formatting. I don't particularly want to. I could also specify a character format. I don't particularly want to, so I'm going to leave that blank. I'm going to click OK. Now what that rule does is that rule, and I'm going to move it, it's the top of the list, good. What that rule does is when we're importing the content, every time the word displays appears, it's going to replace it with appears. Now you can easily imagine extending this out to other places. For example, perhaps in your legacy content, the product name has changed. Perhaps in your legacy content, it's 2 or 3 versions back, and the name has changed. You can easily create a rule that looks for the old name and replaces it with the new name. So I think a little bit of that gives you a sense of what this might do, and I think if you use your imagination, you can easily imagine situations where this is just going to save you a ton of time. You can create multiple replace rules like this, so you could actually go and clean up your content before you ever get it into Author-it. This is going to save you hundreds of hours. So I went ahead and clicked OK. Now I'm going to click Next. Now it scans through my file looking to apply those rules. I don't think that this particular file has any displays. I think they've all been changed to something else before, long before I decided to import it. But now we get a chance to double click, and we just get to look at what our content looks like. Does this content generally look like what we were hoping for? See here we've got an embedded graphic that is a spreadsheet. We've got some text. Okay, this is generally looking the way I want it to look. Now if it wasn't looking the way I wanted it to look, I could easily come down here, click the back button, go back to my rules, edit the rules, change the rules, do other things, and then go through this again. And I strongly recommend that you do that until what you're seeing in the preview is either approximately or exactly what you want, depending on how much cleanup you know that you're going to need to do once you get this converted. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this looks fine. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Now that document is converted into Author-it. This is a short document. It's only, I think, 2 pages. But I've done the same thing in the past with very large Word documents. The only difference is it's going to take a little bit longer. So you can see it only took 2 seconds to create the topics, to create the hyperlinks, graphics, etc. It took 8 seconds. Very, very fast. Again, this was a short file. But for a large Word document of several hundred pages, it's not going to take you 10 minutes. Really, you're not going to have time to go down the hall, get coffee, and come back before it's done. And now that I'm done, I click Close, and I'm all done. So that's what I wanted to show you. Thank you much.